Because this one looks super poisonous, so this one is like the biggest challenge for cooking,
Cool.
probably.
That's excellent. So yeah, you are there, cook, probably starting to like hack away at a really big mushroom. What is everybody else doing while Wandering Grace goes off to start procuring mushrooms?
Well, while Wander is procuring the mushrooms for our lunch, perhaps we should investigate this ship.
Yeah, I'm already on it, Cap. So I am I have like a computer that you can see it in my picture, like a little magic circle-y thing pulled up. And I
Mm-hmm.
am my my foingies have been typing away at it. And I am attempting to slice into the other ship's computer systems and see what's still online and if there's any like surveillance or any of that.
Great. Yeah. Make me a complexity 2, which means you roll 2 dice, computers skill roll.
Yeah. So I will do that by just going back to this sheet
Mm-hmm.
and clicking on the thing for computers. So
Okay, great. So another 0. That means no like numbers. You've rolled a 3 and a 2. So what you're able to get in there pretty easily. And the first thing you notice is that the MI is in really bad shape and is starting to die. The
Oh no!
Midnight Oil's MI is named Rufus
mhm.
and is just not doing well at all. Really is uncommunicative, but you are able to go through and search for some things. What you see is that the Midnight Oil, at least according to its manifesto, was carrying a lot of plasma,
Mm.
and then they were beset by some
Yeah, they were
ships.
waylaid. Okay.
Yeah, that like another ship appeared, a breacher class ship, which is made for like cutting the holes insides of other ships and boarding,
Mhm.
sending like a boarding party. So there's record of the crew finding that on their scanners, and then all of a sudden, all there's like a big information gap, and then the plasma is missing, all of the crew is still alive, and the ship is crashing. Like that is sort of the next thing you're able to see as you go through the security footage there. That the plasma is gone, but it looks like the crew, which was a crew of 5 people, is alive, was alive and well, at least when the ship crashed. And you can even see in the ship crash that they are all able to, make it up, and they get out and they're starting to move around, and then the cameras die on the ship.
So I stopped typing things after a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it seems like this is a lot of effort to go through because I don't think this is a setup. I think this is actually a rescue mission, like an actual one. That ship's dying.
Oh no! Is there anything that we can do?
Probably. Let's try.
Excellent. So Luella and Anto, what are you doing?
I would like to use an ability. Can I? But I don't think that I can use it right now. Like, I think I have to jack in first to the ship. Can I do that? Is
Uh,
there a spot to jack into the ship?
yeah, you're able to, when you're going through the wreckage, you do find an MI jack
Okay.
that looks like it's functional ish, enough that you'd be able to jack in.
Okay, I would like to do that.
Okay. So Luella, you go and you jack in. And you come into an MI space, and the MI space is like this virtual reality area that is unstable. You can see like there are glitchy little hits happening all over the place, and the MI itself isn't really taking any distinct form. They just sort of look
Okay.
like this blob of incandescent virtual reality ness that is hovering in front of you.
Hello? My name is Luella.
Uh, Rufus.
Hi, Rufus. I'm here to help you. What? How can I help?
Dying.
I know, but I'm trying to stop that from happening. Just tell me what I need to do and I can try to help you, Rufus.
Gotcha. Okay, so I think we're going to need a skill roll here, PB.
Would it be engineering or computers, or
I
I'm not
would
even
take
sure what I would
engineering
do.
or computers in this case.
Okay, I would like to do engineering, please.
Go for it.
Okay. Is it just that, or do I?
Yep. That's
Okay,
exactly right. And the zero means, so the other thing you'll want to do is check off on your character sheet, your D12 box.
Before I roll, or just always?
Whenever you roll, whenever you make a skill check, whether or not you succeed, check off once you've used it, and then that stays checked off until you check off all of the other boxes. And
I have a question. Is it not supposed to be rolling 3D dice, or is that not implemented at the moment, or are people don't have them activated?
Oh, that is a good question.
Go into the little gear on the right, and then scroll down
enable
until you
3D.
see enable 3D dice and automatically roll 3D dice.
There you go. Click those.
Can I just do this again? I want to see what happens.
Sure.
Please.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. That is awesome. Okay, cool.
Oh my gosh. That's...
Okay, so you rolled no matches. So the way the system works, I'm just going to say this because visually it's easier to understand for people who are here. We see now she rolled a 4 and a 12. And as long as you don't roll two matching dice, like a 12 or a 12, 4 and a 4, whatever, as long as you don't match, it's a success. Right, James?
Exactly. That's exactly right. So, and in this case, this is a complexity 2. For harder tasks, you might have a complexity 3 or 4, and you would roll more dice, so there's a better chance of them matching. So that's the way that works. So yeah, the 3D dice are definitely helpful in understanding the mechanics of the game too. Yeah. So you think that if you are able to stabilize this ship, that the ship itself likely has a slow leak somewhere where it's leaking the essence of this magical intelligence sort of out into the ether. You would be able to stop that from happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then to do that, so doing the engineering roll was to figure out what I needed to do. Now, do I roll again to attempt to accomplish that?
Sure. Yeah. You can, sort of make a roll to see if you can find it. And again, you tell me how you want to do it and what skill you want to use.
Okay. So if I know that the essence is leaking out somewhere, I definitely want to be trying to use my knowledge, I guess, of MI to figure out where I guess that would be. Again, engineering, and then I'm going to attempt to fix it as quickly as possible because they're basically hemorrhaging their essence, which is not fun. So then there you go. Oh, thank goodness. That's stressful.
So yeah, you come around and you find a leak in the ship, and it actually looks pretty complicated to fix.
Oh no, this looks complicated. If I just move this here, and I maybe try this. Oh no.
So are you going to use engineering to try to fix this then again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so make an engineering check. This time the complexity is 3 of the check.
What does that mean? Does that mean that I just hit it 3 times?
So see where it says current turn actions?
Mm-hmm.
Click the second box there, and that turns it to complexity 3.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. All right. So this is great. This is our first failure, everybody. In Burn Bryte, when things go wrong, when you fail a skill check, things go wrong. It's not just, hey, This is bad. It's it's worse.
Great.
So
Yay, I think.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
And what's cool about Burn Bright is we have this failure prompts table, so we get to roll on it and we'll see what it says.
Woo!
So
Okay, I'm ready.
this failure is personal. Okay. So I think what is going to happen here.
Oh no. Rufus!
Oh.
Luella, this is you're trying to fix it, and you actually make this leak a little wider.
Oh no. Okay.
And you hear the MI like in your mind because you're sort of connected to the ship still. You hear it go, why?
No, I'm trying to help you. I'm so sorry. Oh no.
And then it dies.
Oh my god.
The magical hum in the area stops.
Oh
no. And at that moment, the comms go on, and you hear Keisha say, "Is everything okay with Rufus?"
And then Antovaldi says no, because
Wait, how would Antovaldi know?
aren't we in the same area?
Yeah, he could hear the ship. You can hear the ship go quiet.
Like, no. I thought this would work.
Yeah, and Antovaldi goes, because Keisha goes, is everything okay? Antovaldi says, yeah, it's just fine. Luella killed Rufus, and we can go.
What?
It was an accident. I'm sorry. I was trying to help, but they were hemorrhaging their life essence, their magical essence, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Well, really, I can't lie to you. There was definitely something I could have done. I just messed up, and I'm so sorry.
I'm sure you didn't.
I killed your friend.
What?
I mean, not on purpose, obviously. I did try to help.
And the comms just go silent at that point.
Hello, Keisha?
What is Antovaldi doing during this?
Antovaldi is super mistrustful of this entire situation, especially because there is smoke still billowing and stuff from the ship. So Antovaldi is now curious about where the people went.
Gotcha. Okay. So
I was gonna maybe roll. I was going to try and roll perception.
Yeah, go ahead. Make a perception roll. This is going to be at a complexity of 2.
Okay. Just a second. All right, there we go. And
okay, great. There you go. So you are able to see, you're able to make sense of some tracks on the ground, and searching the wreckage, you see like, okay, there are, first of all, it looks like anything useful. A lot of loose pieces of technology or things like that are gone. You don't see like any communication badges on the ground. You don't see any weapons or anything like that. Even like broken smart slabs, which are, big tablets or small tablets that people use in their stuff. All of that is seems to be gone for the most part. And you can also see that it looks like there were 5 creatures on the ship that made their way south of here, but that these creatures were escorted by 10 smaller creatures that were also a 2-footed species.
This is where Antovaldi pulls out his pistol because Antovaldi immediately assumes pirates.
And at that moment, that is when Wandering Grace, you're cutting mushrooms and filling up your pack with them.
Yep.
When you see a small furry creature, maybe about 3 feet high, it's got big ears, and it's wearing like a clothes that are too big for it, like made for not a 3-foot tall creature, but more like a normal sort of human-sized creature, and of all sorts of different fashions, right? Like it's got one style of pants and another style of shoes and another style of shirt. And it is looking at you and it is holding a knife up. And you see there is another one of these things. And they've got like brown sort of shaggy fur and a little upturned nose as well to go with it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. Hey there, cutie.
And that is when it makes an approach to you with the knife out, and it says,
Hey, give us your pack. Give it to us.
What pack?
The pack. And it points to your mushroom bag.
Bless you.
Well, that voice is working out, huh? Okay. Woo. All right, there we go.
We should get you one of those voice changing things like PB
yeah,
has.
for real.
Wow.
I did not think that was going to do that to me.
Oh, dang.
Okay. And that is when you all notice coming out from around here are a bunch of these other creatures that start making an appearance around you.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh dear!
Hey,
Yeah.
boss. I think we've got company.
Yeah, I see them.
Yeah, there are 8 of these creatures in groups of 2, and they have surrounded you. And some of them have laser pistols out, and some of them are wielding knives as they make their way in closer to you, starting to surround you all.
I look up from where. So I've been looking through the wreckage for valuables. So where am I at this point in the
I think right where you are actually makes a lot of sense. Where your token is, if you're sort of searching through the wreckage for valuables.
Yeah, did I
Yeah.
find anything?
Go ahead, make a check. How are you searching for stuff?
With skullduggery.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead, make a complexity 3 skullduggery because a lot of the stuff's been stripped.
Oh, click and drag. Okay, there we go. Haha.
Okay, nice. Yeah, you find a pair of advanced far goggles, which
cool.
are these goggles that let you see far, but the advanced version also let you see in the dark.
In the dark, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a pair, so it's more useful to have it for you guys for a face that isn't giant.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it doesn't look sized for priestcraft. So, I mean, with enough straps, you could probably make it work for like one eye.
I believe in you.
Cool. So I have like that, and I look up at these people.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what do you want?
And they say that, and they point at your far goggles that you just picked up.
And I hold it to my chest really close.
And they look fascinated by you, Scam. They are like moving in hard now towards you. And their eyes are glittering like they are the starving person on an island and they see you as a big chicken leg.
Yeah.
That
I'm
is
gonna
sort of
try to reason with them. Whoa. No, I got here first. This is my take. So thieves rules, you all back off. You all back off right now.
okay. What I think that's also a check. What do you want to make right here?
Okay. I'm not great at it, but I'm going to attempt decorum because this is thieves rules.
Okay. Yeah, this is a complexity 3.
So I push up current turn actions
Mhm.
and then
Boom. Okay.
no.
So let's roll initiative.
God damn it.
So you can see on your sheet, you've got where it says, let's see, initiative toggle right there.
Mm-hmm.
That if you click that button or click that little box click your token, and then we use a skill for initiative. So this is another place where you can tell me what you use. Often we use athletics because it's sort of about your reaction to that sort of thing. And these look like they're moving in to jump scam likely now. But if you have a reasoning, you think you could use something else like perception or that sort of thing, you tell me and let me know. But otherwise, it is an athletics roll.
I would like to use perception if that's
Sure.
okay.
You tell me how that's working.
Just because I think that the Glean in general can sense things around them in a really weird way. So I'm gonna assume that with perception, I can just sense their existence and kind of it gives me a foot up rather than using my physical ability to move around. I can just know that something is not right in the air, like the tension and whatnot. So
okay, yeah, sure, sounds great.
is that
so sorry, you want to
how we
turn
do
that
that?
down to 1? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whew, thank God.
Back down to 1. Okay.
Back down to complexity 2, and then toggle your initiative.
What are the successful actions also? Is that supposed to be checked if we've succeeded at something?
That's in combat, and we'll get to that in a second.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
That's totally fine.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
May I use Streetwise to know how they're
Definitely.
awesome? Thank
That
you.
totally makes sense. Okay, so let's see. So, Luella. Cool. And scam likely.
I
So let's
think
see.
I'm gonna use Suave to try and talk us out of this entire thing. Maybe give them something that they want. Just I really don't want to fight these mushrooms.
That's good because mine is
seem
last
delicious.
resort. Last resort.
Great. All right. What's
Okay.
the current turn action?
So-
What's the difficulty level?
So this will be a 2 because this is just your
Okay.
rolling for initiative here.
Gotcha.
So
Did that work? The most unsuave on the planet. That's
Okay.
so unlucky.
but that's okay because this you're just adding your total to tell where you go in initiative at this point.
Okay. I eat my own shoe suavely.
Gotcha. Anto.
And
go ahead.
Anto is going to. Oh, did I do that?
No, that was me.
Okay.
Rolling for initiative.
was
Black
like,
dice
they're black.
are not
I was
cool.
like, oh my gosh. Shadow roll. I think that Anto Valdi is going to roll for presence.
Oh, okay.
Because he is doing that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this is just sort of how you're entering battle. So again, the doubles here are not a problem. So now everybody should untoggle initiative just for the sake of yeah. And now Anto Valdi, you're going first.
Yeah, that
And-
roll was just me, jumping on top of the ship and just bringing out my charge batons because I'm ready to use my charge batons.
Nice.
Please
Okay.
don't start.
So on your turn, you get to move your speed, and then you can take any number of actions you want until you fail. Or you can choose to end early in case you don't want to fail, because as we all know, failure has a consequence like killing the MI of a dying ship. And it starts at your first action, starts at complexity 2. Your second is at complexity 3. Your third, yada, yada, and so on and so forth. So that is where we are. Now, just because we're in combat doesn't mean that you need to harm people if you don't want to, because I heard some people saying that earlier. Just want to throw that out there that you can make other sorts of checks if you want to. I just think with things going the way they are, it helps us to get more to this granular level of who is going when and where and that sort of thing. So Anto, go ahead. It's your turn.
All right. So do I need to move closer to the ship? Obviously.
It's up to you. If you were following tracks, you might have made your way out. It's that sort of thing. But yeah, if you want to start in closer, that's totally cool.
Okay. So, firstly, I am going to Is it cool if I roll presence again just to try and intimidate them?
Yeah, totally.
Sweet. Okay, and that is complexity 2.
Gotcha. So, and tell me what you're doing with this check. Okay. So
yeah.
that's
complexity. So, yeah. So the idea of bringing out the charge batons, sort of banging them together, having the electricity sparkle all over the place, and pointing them at them to let them know that I mean business.
I am intimidated. I would just like everyone to know.
And by business, I mean I got new sticks. They're electric, and they're coming for you.
You see this the Nivik who is or this creature spoilers that is closest to you is gets terrified and its eyes get very wide, cartoonishly wide, and it looks like it is getting ready to turn tail and run. And Luella, it is your turn. I'm sorry, Anto, did you want to do more? My fault.
No, I think I got the desired effect.
Okay, cool. Luella, yes, go ahead.
I would like to use my presence to try to talk with everyone and try to get them to reason with us.
Okay.
So, okay. Is that just a complexity 2?
Yep, complexity 2 to start. Okay.
Okay, so I float up on top of like where the ship is. Please halt. I think we're getting out of hand here. I think we can talk and come to a reasonable solution where everybody wins and nobody has to get hurt.
Okay. So you can see the Niviks are they're starting to look at each other a little bit more and then looking at all of you, and there's way more uncertainty now among all of these little creatures as they are looking back and forth to each other.
Does one of them look like they might be the leader?
You can see this one all the way over here on the right is moving in the like quickly.
Okay. And everybody seems to be following their lead.
Yeah,
okay.
I've marked that one as green with a little green token.
Can I use an ability here? I'd like to use Insightful, which says you may make an appropriate skill roll, and on a success, you learn one true fact about an NPC that you can see.
Okay.
It could be their mood, something from their past, something they thought others didn't know about them.
Great. So you tell me, what skill do you want to use to insight someone?
That's probably my presence here. I feel like either presence or perception.
Okay.
My special ability. We'll go with perception.
Okay. Cool. And be sure to mark off things as you're using them if you haven't marked off your die sizes yet. So.
Okay. Ooh. I think that's all I've used. Yes. Oh, no, I've used a D10 too. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yay. Okay.
Great. So one fact that you know about this little individual who's coming forth, and he's wearing it looks like a crown that's made out of metal. That is like scrap metal, right? That he's taken from other objects and he's made this crown for himself. You know that he is the authority here, but he's not the true authority of all of these little creatures.
Okay.
That he's like the scout leader, but not like the big time leader, but he's playing it like he is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. I see you are the leader here. You, great and wise leader. I don't think that you want to rush your entire group into battle when it's not entirely necessary. And don't you know you are in the presence of one of the greatest galactic chefs you will ever meet? And wouldn't you like to try some of that delicious food? You like food, right?
Got it. So this is going to be another skill check, I think. And we didn't do this last time, but your perception should have been complexity 3.
Oh, right. Okay.
So this would be a complexity 4 if you want to make another.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to try.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
boy.
no.
Okay, so here's what we should do is your perception check that
Mhm.
led you to know, like, hey, this is what this person is all about.
Mhm.
Now you have your PC ship has a sheet, which I'm now going to rename Keisha. Has a sheet, and on that sheet we keep track of what are called. It's actually not on the sheet right now, but here in the initiative tracker, then we'll keep track of what are called advantages. And advantages let you you can use them to get a re-roll with something.
Yes.
So essentially, you can re-roll one of your dice, right? So you had a 4, a 7, a 2, and a 2. So if you want to spend that advantage, and these are a pool, anybody can use them. You would be able to re-roll one of your 2s if you want. You have a cap of 4 because your ship's livability rating caps the number of advantages.
Okay. I would like to use that if the team is cool with that, or one of them anyway. How do I? How
So
do I
just
re-roll?
you would just want to roll 1d10 in this case.
Oh,
So
perfect. So I can just type that in.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so one of your 2s is re-rolled, but you already had a 7.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so still fail.
So it's still a failure. So when you say that about the galactic chef, this lead one spits on the ground and says,
Gross. We don't like your refined food.
Oh no.
and that is the end of your turn because that ends with a failure and it's Wandering Grace's turn.
And Antovaldi just turns to Wandering Grace and just goes, well, you could just feed him the poisonous mushrooms and we can get out of here.
Wander, help me.
Okay. All right. You
Oh my.
what skill are you going to use to do that? I love it. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be a
Somebody
complexity
muted?
too.
Hold on, sorry. Chat just said muted, and I don't know.
I'm not muted.
Okay.
That's me. I was muting.
Okay.
Sorry,
Gotcha.
that was silly. Yeah. What did I say? Something. I'm gonna use an athletics
said
check
athletics,
to take one of them hostage.
Nice. Love it.
Does the complexity go up if I go for the leader, quote unquote?
So you would have to make it to the leader. The leader is all the way far away from you. So you could get there. So you get 5 free squares of movement on your turn.
Gotcha.
And then if you want to increase your movement, you can use skill checks to do it. So like if you want to move another 5, that might be in athletics if you're sprinting, or if you're moving carefully, it might be, stealth or skullduggery or that sort of thing.
All right, let me look at my sheet to see if I should try to stealth it. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna try to stealth it anyway.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to stealth my way to the leader, even though I only have a D4 in that.
Cool. So you're able to get about halfway there for free, and then so you move into the mushrooms, and then are able to come back out around, boom, and get right there next to the leader. So that's your first skill check. So check off your D4.
Gotcha.
And then you can go ahead and roll an athletics to grab if that's what you're using to grab.
Yep. I'm going to try to grab this guy.
Okay, and that's complexity 3.
Oh, no.
I just love how Wandering Grace was like, I'm not a chef anymore. Never felt that, never experienced that emotion.
Uh-oh. Okay, Wandering Grace. Let's roll on this failure prompts table here.
Oh, no.
Can
I just pick a number?
You make a mess. So I think instead
Oh, no.
you end up falling flat on your face. And all like you kick up this spore of all these neon purple mushrooms. This like cloud of spores comes up around you.
Oh
And
no.
you're feeling pretty dazed. And you're going to take what's called so on your character sheet, Wandering Grace, you can see that there are conditions where there are those hearts going right
Yep.
there.
Gotcha.
So click the smallest little negative heart for me.
Yep, there it goes.
So that is what that means is you currently have a negative minor condition, which means the complexity of skill checks you make is treated as +1. So if it's a complexity 2, you make it a 1 for one skill. So I think what we're going to say is that this makes you just a little more uncoordinated and it'll affect your athletics skill.
Oh no.
So go ahead. You can click the heart next to your athletics skill 2, and that will apply the negative condition to your athletics.
Gotcha.
There you go. So now you don't need to worry about it at all. And that is unfortunately the end of your turn, which brings us to Scam likely. Scam, you can see all of these creatures now around you. They're looking like unsure, but now they're starting to feel a little more confident with everything that's just occurred.
Hit him, Scam.
Well, hit him. I prefer nonviolence. I'm going to try lying.
Okay.
I'll roll it first to see how it goes, and then lie accordingly.
Nice.
Okay. So.
I love it. I love lying accordingly. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'm like, whoa, hold on. Look, thieves' rules are a thing, and we got here first, and there's like a whole nother crash site like a mile north. Why don't you just hit that up?
Okay. That's great.
Very clever.
And they're like, that stops them dead in their tracks. And they're looking at each other. Is there anything else you want to do, Scam?
Oh yeah. So I'm going to yeah, I'd like to create an advantage for the group. I don't want to like do anything major. So I think the way I'm going to create an advantage for the group is looking at all of my different abilities over here. That was this. Yeah, I'm going to use skullduggery and like look quickly through on the computers thing, my computer circuit, for like a map of the area and like sneakily input a thing to make it look like there's a crash and attempt to bring this up and like hollow project it to them to be like, yeah,
awesome.
Just go here. So it gives everybody else room to operate as I'm distracting them with this complex lie.
Okay, go ahead.
So that, and then I need to turn off initiative, but okay.
Oh, that's okay. But we see the result here. Yeah. So that's great. So yeah, they're looking at each other and you generate one advantage here for that.
Awesome. With that has generated a Nova point for me. So I'm just going to keep that at the side, uncheck all my boxes, and feel pretty good about myself as I end my turn.
Yeah, definitely. So the first thing that happens on these little creatures' turn is these two creatures that are closest to Antovaldi run. And they start running off to the south, the same direction you saw those footprints, Antovaldi. And they're like, "Rah!" And their arms are waving over their heads like Kermit. And they start running off that way. These creatures look at each other and then all look to the one wearing the crown. And the one wearing the crown says, "North 1 mile," and they start running off north, like all the rest of them start running off to the north and make their there. And you can see there is some longing in the eyes of these creatures as they look back at Scam likely, but then they keep making their way that way. Does anyone want to do anything else before we get out of initiative? Is anyone going to continue this fight, as it were?
Yeah. Can I roll so off to save my dignity?
Yes, absolutely. Complexity 2 for that.
Thank God.
There we go. Yes.
So as I fall like an idiot in the mushrooms, I manage to kind of like fall on an elbow and go, I meant to do that.
Yeah, and the way the spores fall on you, it just sort of like highlights and gives you like a cool glow.
Oh
right?
my God, it's a shoujo manga scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Glitter spores.
Yeah, so you just look incredible as you like lie
Wow.
there. Yeah.
Wander, you're amazing.
And the other thing that happens, Wander, is you get like a taste of this and you're like, it did make you kind of high, these mushrooms, in a not great way, but maybe cooked, you could really do something with these too. That's the
Ooh,
other thing you realize when you get a little taste of this.
sweet. Does that mean I check off D12? And is that part?
Yeah, you use Suave, so you get to check off your D12.
Could that be maybe a flare of inspiration as I fall on my ass and taste some pollen?
I think so, yes. So you have a story path that you are completing right now. All of you do. Yours is create masterpiece. And the first thing you need is inspiration. So what does this inspire in you as you check off the story path?
As I fall down into my incredibly suave pose, I realize that sometimes food can taste good, but also it can feel good.
Nice. I like it.
So I've been set out on my path.
Uh-oh. So food that makes people feel.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. You're inventing pot brownies. I
guess. I'm gonna try them on Luella. See what happens. She's basically a brain.
So we see the Nivix start to run off. What you do see is one of the Nivix scam, as you're watching, drops what can only be a communications badge as they make their way. They were all wearing them so they could understand you and you could understand them, but this looks like an extra one that maybe one was carrying like in a pocket or something that was too big and it happened to fall out. And since I've revealed the name of the creature so many times, Nivix are actually a creature that you may have come across in your travels because they're not just limited to Falnala. They are creatures that don't believe in technology. They have this religion that says like that they can't invent or discover new technology, but that they can use technology other people creates. So they do tend to sometimes become little sort of thieving pirate bands that will steal technology so that they can use it for themselves because they're not allowed to invent it. Some people say that Nivix are just lazy, and that's why they're doing
lazy, superficial scavengers.
Right, exactly.
I agree.
That's how Antovaldi feels.
Yeah. So that's what these little guys are Nivix.
Sweet.
Yay, we didn't kill anybody.
Well, I don't think we have much time until they figure out.
You killed somebody, right? Sorry, Luella.
Yeah, I did. Thank you for reminding me.
Well, we shouldn't forget them so soon.
Yes, you're right. Perhaps we should have a moment of silence.
I didn't kill him. Sorry.
When you say that, Luella, about the moment of silence, you look up in the sky and it looks like the burn is getting even closer to this planet. It looks bigger and closer in the sky, and it's like starting to almost break through the cloud cover a little bit.
Hey, I think we might want to leave soon.
And Antovaldi calls the ship. Do I have to roll for that?
No.
Okay.
I thought you said that in character and it cracked me up.
Out of character. Do I have to roll for that?
So yeah, you get Keisha, and she says, "What?"
If you don't mind, we're done.
Oh, you're done
sorry.
killing other MIs? Is that
That's
what you're
literally
done?
exactly what I was going to
Keisha, it was an accident.
And she says, "I know. I'm sorry. I lied before. I did know Rufus."
How
Yes.
did you know Rufus?
We were.
I'd love to hear about your boyfriend, but the burn is coming.
It is.
Wow,
Did
don't
you
be
save
rude.
Rufus's
Yeah,
crew?
I'm gonna
Did you find
creep-
anyone?
Yeah, I'm
We
gonna creep
didn't
to
find
Anto and kick his
anyone.
ass.
There's nobody here. Well, we only found half of the ship.
Oh.
Keisha, maybe can you scan for any other life forms here? Maybe try to find the crew for us?
Oh. Yeah, maybe. I guess there are no bodies or anything.
No, nothing here.
And you didn't like stab them by accident or anything, Luella?
Wow, I think I would know if I accidentally stabbed someone, but maybe not.
Okay. All right. Fine. Yeah, I think I can scan. I'll try not to kill you by accident while I'm doing it.
You know, you said it was okay and that you forgive me and that you understood, but I'm sensing that that's not the case.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. We're all just joking around here, aren't we, Anto? Just joking about death.
Joking about death.
And
Okay.
and Anto turns to the Peacecraft and with one of his charged batons, he just sort of pretends to beat himself in the head because he just wants.
Make like, come on, dude, hands to AP. And then I'm like, okay, hey, Keisha, look, no one's told you, but there's a communicator thing. There's a badge thing. What are you, phones? What do you guys? What are they?
Communications badge.
Yeah, they dropped one, and we can find the other crew if it's important to you.
I mean, it's only the value of sapient life. It's up to you. And she says, I can come over and pick you up though if you're worried, and that this trip hasn't been worth it.
Try being nice, I whispered to Antovaldi. She just lost a friend, man. Cat, whatever.
Would you mind?
Mm-hmm.
Please scanning for the people.
Start with sorry.
I'm sorry.
So we could try and make up. And then he turns to Luella for accidentally murdering your pal.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
And then you hear, I already did that. I was just waiting for you to ask nicely. Yes, it seems like to the south, that communications badge that Scam picked up, there's similar signatures coming from the south. There's more communication badges that way. Probably less than a mile.
Out of character, can Keisha sort of gauge how close the burn is, like in terms of time?
Yeah. She says the burn advances erratically. Sometimes it can speed up or slow down. But looking at the way things are right now, she thinks that you probably have about 2 hours.
That's not a lot of time.
So I look at this badge.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Nivik's take technology, but was there any cohesion between theirs? Like, am I looking at a pirate badge here? One from the crew? Are there any signal things that I could do to find out?
Sure, yeah. So it looks like a pretty cheap one, which means it was probably purchased like in bulk with a bunch of other ones. Mm-hmm. And you would know that it is like standard issue for some sort of service industry, right? There's like kind of, communication badges that get made en masse are made for like people who are traveling on a ship or that sort of thing, who are all working together, who made a bulk purchase, like a mining company. If you want to do a check, I can give you more information.
No, that's really useful. Instead, I think I'd like to activate it. Just place a call.
Okay.
See who picks up?
Okay. So yeah, you place a call. And there's like a momentary, I guess, ringing that goes on.
Beedle-eep, beedle-eep.
Right, exactly. So it feels like longer than if someone were just wearing it and would pick it up. And then you hear a voice say,
Hello?
I hang up. Yeah, I hang up. No. Well, that yielded nothing.
Who was it?
Yep.
I think it was one of the Nivik chiefs, probably.
Oh. Maybe we could ask them if they've seen the people of the other crew.
You don't think that they... Never mind, I don't.
They were wearing a bunch of clothes that weren't their size. I'm going to venture a guess and say they probably killed them.
Man, this whole mission has been a failure.
Does any of us have the knowledge to like assume that actually they're scavengers and they wouldn't kill? Or is that a check?
I can do a streetwise check for it.
Sure.
You met Niviks on the streets.
I mean,
Yep, on the hard
seem
streets
to-
of this planet.
Yeah. A big thing. So go ahead, make a streetwise check, and I'll let you know.
Sweet. You can be streetwise even if there isn't a street.
This will be complexity 2. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, this is a big thing you know about Niviks, Antovaldi, are that not only do they not make technology, they don't know how to use it often. And so one of the things that they'll do sometimes when they like mug someone on the street is after they steal stuff is they will then make that person teach them how to use the thing that they stole from them. If they steal a computer from somebody, they make that person teach them how to use Windows 98 or whatever it is.
What a nightmare.
Good luck.
It is. I mean, it is. The burn is closing in. So,
and so Antovaldi says the Nivik didn't kill anyone. They might be poachers, but they're not murderers or cannibals.
Am I a murderer?
Well, let's not get into the philosophics of murder or cannibalism for that matter, which is a very nasty name.
I mean, it's manslaughter at best.
Can I hug Luella? Just kind of like pull her into
that's up
my
to
face
Luella,
tentacles.
So yeah, there's a
It's a very nice
tentacly
hug.
hug as
Thank you, Wander.
you both hug, and then Keisha comes on and says, "Luella, you're not a murderer. You were trying to save Rufus,
I was.
and that means a lot to me that you actually wanted to go down there and save him. I'm sorry that I have been emotional about it."
It's understandable. We were your friend. I'm sorry.
Thank you for trying to save them.
You're welcome.
And Anto whispers to Scam, "Fat good it did."
Why do you love
Can I
playing
roll perception to
jerks?
see if I hear that?
I'm like trying to not giggle at that one.
Every game I've played with you, you just played the most mean character. Why? You're such a nice person, IRL. Is this your outlet?
So, Anto, was that meant for was that a
No,
whisper?
that was a whisper specifically to Scam.
Sure. If you want to
Who
roll
I am calling
perception,
Scam
Luella,
because I am out of character.
you can. It's up to you.
Yes, I absolutely do.
Okay, go ahead. Roll that perception. This is what role-playing games were made for.
Being petty.
Yeah, you hear it word for word.
Oh.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm just like trying not to giggle, but I'm failing.
Yeah. And I think that's probably a good point to end here for the so we'll get Luella's reaction when we return next week. But in the meantime, let's quickly go around our virtual table here and let people know where they can find you. So Kat, let's start with you.
Cool. So the best place to find me is over on Twitter, where I'm at cat_cool_ with cool spelled like my last name, KUHL. And I have a number of podcasts and things, which I think will be showing up in the chat shortly. But one I'm really excited about is called Autonomic. It's a children's podcast that is starting up on Thursday. First episode drops then.
Yes.
Yeah. So yay. You can check that out at Autonomic Pod or at autonomicpodcast.com with autonomic spelled like the nervous system.
That's
Yay.
awesome. Yay. And PB, where can people find you?
You guys can find me at twitch.tv/pumpkinberry or at Twitter at pumpkinberry. And I also run a podcast called The Deep Dive, which I would love for you to check out, which you can find at thedeepdivecast.com. We basically talk about life, the universe, and everything in relation to a game that we just played. And then the other thing is, if you like more tabletop, I just GM'd a 3-part miniseries on Equal Trade. It's a horror show called Stygian Gate, and you can check that out at pumpkinberry.tv/Stygian Gate. And
Excellent.
thank you. Yeah.
That's awesome. And where can people find you, CJ?
People can find me on Twitter at CJ Talking. I am one of the resident people here at Roll20 because we're full of people here at Roll20. And I also write for a website called Boom Howdy, where I'm a film reporter. And starting the end of next month, I will be co-hosting a podcast with my friend Micah Black called Below Freezing, where we try to find the good in movies that come in at 32% or below on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes,
So-
I am so here for this
I'm so
podcast.
excited about that.
So yeah, and I'm super happy that you guys are watching this because this is super fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really
Alex, where can
fiance.
people find you?
Hey, I'm Alex. People can find me on my Twitter that I currently don't use. I do not have a podcast, and I'm on social media detox because I'm usually addicted to it, and I should post nonstop. So if you like that, please follow me on my Twitter, and I'll be back around January with more selfies and more shit posts than you could possibly handle. So brace yourselves.
Yes.
Basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's gonna be a lot. Just everyone here probably mute me because we're professional acquaintances.
Right. So go follow Alex and mute her on Twitter.
Yes,
Right.
them. I use they them pronouns. I didn't say that,
Absolutely.
so now I'm saying it. Apart from that, yeah. If you want to make me happy, go ahead and follow the Roll20 channel because we try to put on a bunch of shows by indie creators and like bigger, partners and stuff like that. And we just want everyone to have a good time. So if you like the show, go ahead and check out Bryte, which we just made available to both to Plus subscribers. It used to be in playtest just for Pro subscribers on Roll20, but now any type of subscriber, Pro or Plus, gets to fiddle with it at no additional cost.
Yeah,
we have
they
the
do.
compendium. We have an adventure that's already pre-made by James and Kat. I don't know if you know this, but they are designers on this amazing game. So yeah, you can make your own way in your own dysfunctional little family of aliens if you so wish. So go ahead and check that out. I'm gonna put the link of the blog post that we just published today in the chat. And thank you so much for coming. Please share the good word of this cast and of this show if you like it, and try the game for yourself if you can, and tell us what you think.
It's so
about
fun,
it.
guys. Like, there's so much that we haven't even touched on yet.
The lore is
I know.
so
Go
good. The
dive
mechanics are
in.
so fun. And you know what? If there are things that you don't like, there's a playtest survey, and you can change the game. You can affect the
Exactly.
game. You can be like, there are things that I would do differently, or there are things that this mechanic was a little bit repetitive, or like whatever. Just give us your opinion. Help us refine. That's how games get better. Oh, my cat
Exactly.
wants attention.
Yes.
Yes, playtesting is
Hello,
worth its weight in
kitty.
gold. So yes, please let us know. I'm on Twitter at James Intricasso. I'm at worldbuilderblog.com, and I am at don'tsplitthepodcastnetwork.com, where I have a bunch of other podcasts and stuff like that. If you like me running actual plays tomorrow at twitch.tv/don'tsplitthepodcast at 10 a.m. Pacific, I'm running a D&D game. So you can come check that out as well. The cast there is equally on point, I would say, with this cast. So it's I couldn't choose my favorite. I would die of my heart exploding from choice paralysis first. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Click follow, join the playtest, and we will make sure that you don't feel the burn.
I can't believe you're trying to make that a thing. My God.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
It's
It
not
happens
a
twice.
thing.
So
It's a thing.
embarrassing.
It's not happening.
Everyone keep waving.